Cool.
Yeah, here we go. And it'll probably take like 10 seconds for YouTube to pick up on it.
Right.
It looks good. I think we're live. Hello, everybody. I hope you can see us and also hear us.
Yeah.
Give us a shout out in the chat if you can, or if the volume is poorly mixed or anything, and we can fix that.
Let us know if you hear us and the game, the music from the game, and if it sounds all good. Because our setup is we can't hear the music of the game, but we're hoping that you guys can.
Yeah, we've got our end is muted, but hopefully the audio should be coming through on the stream for all of you to hear. I see a hi in chat, so hopefully that's a good sign. Yeah, okay,
nice,
all right.
Thank you. Awesome.
Sweet, yeah.
Cool.
Looks like we're good.
Well, do we need to introduce ourselves? Let people know what's up, what's going on?
Yeah. You want to go first?
Yeah. So my name is Becca. I'm just out here vibing. I don't really know what I do. I do a lot of the marketing stuff. I wrote a lot of dialogue in this game. A lot of cutscenes. If you hate the cutscenes, you can blame me. And that sort of stuff for the game. And then Tyler pretty much did everything else other than music and then like the portraits.
Yeah, and some of the art as well.
Some of the art. So like we are Cattails pretty much. Plus
this
our cats, which aren't in the room because they would be
they'd probably chew the computer cables if we let them in here. So they're locked outside. But Ellie and Buttercup are both here in spirit as well.
Well,
just not in this room.
I can see them from where we are, and they're like begging to get in. But as soon as we let them in, then they'll beg to leave, and it'll just be a whole thing.
Right.
So,
and anybody out there who has cats, you know, you understand.
But we cannot have made this game without them, so they must be mentioned.
Right. So I think that for this stream, we'll probably end up making a new file. Probably do some of the main story stuff, because we haven't really streamed that before, and that's kind of the big new feature. So I'm going to try to rush the first dungeon, the first Dark Ruins, as quickly as possible and get through some of that. But do you want to talk about the purpose of the stream?
Well, I'd say take your time there. Like rush to it, skip the tutorial, but then take your time because that's kind of like new content that we worked hard on.
Right.
Is that even in the demo? If people
it's not in the demo. No.
I think
No,
so it's definitely some exclusive stuff that you wouldn't be able to access that you can get to see today. So
right.
Also,
I'm going to go ahead and make a new file.
Go ahead and get started.
Do you want to talk about all of the exciting stuff, like why we're doing a stream and what we're doing here?
Yeah, so Tyler is going to be playing the game, and then I'm supposed to do more of the talking this time, which usually when we try streaming, it's the other way around. So we'll see how it goes. The reason that we're streaming is that we can finally announce we have a launch date for this game on Steam. And that is October 20th. So just about a month away.
That's huge news. We've been working on it for 4 years now, so. It
is really surreal. I don't know. Yeah, 4 years of our lives. And we're talking like every day working on this game. And just pouring everything into it. And it doesn't feel real to us yet that we are, or at least for me, that we're going to be launching it and that, it's like... Yeah, that's
we
kind of joke and it's like huge. We're having a baby. It's like, here is our game. Here's 4 years of our lives. I hope you like it. So... Yeah, October 20th, it will be on Steam. It will be $20.
Yeah, and that's just a little bit over a month away. So, yeah. I mean, we're super excited about that. We've got a whole bunch of stuff between now and then that we're going to be doing. Different videos, different streams, even the demo as well.
Yeah, so the demo is out on Steam right now. So if you would like to try it out, you can play all the main story is stripped out, but you can play the entire first season of the game. And then any, when you go to create your cat and you create like the different colors, the different patterns for your fur, all of that will, you can save for when you get the game. So even if you're like, oh, I don't want to play the demo and then, have to start completely over, it's like you can still, take that over with you. So definitely worth trying it out. The demo is only going to be there for a limited time.
It's till next Wednesday. So you have until September 20th to play the free demo that's up on Steam right now. You can just go to the Steam page, click the big download button, and play it. I mean, right now if you wanted to. if you decide that playing the game is more exciting than watching the dev stream, totally understand. You can go and do that right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I like watching people play games too, so I get both sides.
Right.
But yeah, I guess, should we talk a little bit about what our game is? What are you doing? Like, I feel like if you showed up to the stream by now, you probably are familiar with Cattails, but
probably a safe assumption.
If you found us on YouTube and are watching at this point, you probably know. But Cattails is a game where you play in the wilderness as a cat. You need to hunt and explore, find herbs, catch prey, make friends, all of that
fight
good
these
stuff.
these spooky
Fight
voidling cats
these
as well.
voidling cats. Yeah. Why do you need to do it? For funsies.
Yeah, I mean, it's a video game, so ultimately for fun. But yeah, it's a life simulation game with elements borrowed from the farming sim and dating sim genres as well. If you like Harvest Moon, if you like Stardew Valley, if you're a big fan of cats in general, you'll probably find something to like in this game. Okay, so this is one of the Dark Ruins. During the stream, we're going to attempt to actually unlock one of these and enter it, and show you what the inside of that looks like, because that's a big part of the main story.
Yeah, so in order to do that though, there's a lot that we're gonna need to do. So right now, Tyler is just doing a lot of resource gathering, going out and exploring. Here's the thing too, it's probably really funny watching him play this. You can notice like he's always having his cat run. It's like he's speed running it pretty much at this point. When you make a game, you know exactly what you gotta do. And so like when I don't know, there's a really old TikTok audio that's like, ha da 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 da, and then she's spinning like a ballerina. When he plays this game, it's like he's going. And then when I play it, it's like I stop and I'll like, ooh, change my accessories and, like come up with like stories in my head about what's happening. So it's really funny, even just me watching Tyler play this.
Yeah, I've played through Cattails Wildwood Story a time or two, as you might imagine, over the 4 years of developing it.
Yeah.
So I have a pretty good idea of what needs to happen at the very beginning in order to unlock one of those Dark Ruins as quickly as possible. I'm actually taking some damage here. I might need to use this golden seal. The problem is I need some golden seal to go and turn it in back at the temple in order to unlock cats, because unlocking cats is how we will ultimately unlock that Dark Ruin. So really that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm collecting all of the resources that are needed in order to unlock the first 3 cats, which is going to help us unlock the first Dark Ruins.
Yep. Oh gosh. We really shouldn't have had maybe the talker person, because then I already blanked. I kind of just left my soul off my body, and now I'm like,
that's good.
Back to reading out.
Yeah, check in on the chat over there. If you guys have questions about the game.
See, the thing is, it's my job to read the chat and then respond to it. Fun fact, I've been reading all the chat. It's great. We're having a good time. I'm just not responding.
Oh, I see this guy Ducky in chat. How's it going? Hello, welcome to the chat. Thanks for joining. If anyone has any questions about the game or the October 20 Steam release or anything like that, feel free to leave it in the chat, and if we have time for it, we will definitely try to answer it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to turn in some items here.
I'm going to acknowledge a comment that I saw earlier about someone saying that they already got Buttercup kittens. And I'm curious if that means that they married Buttercup and had a litter of kittens on their own. Or another fun thing about this game is the rival marriage system. So I'm curious, did your player have kittens with Charlotte, or... Oh wait, no, not Charlotte, with Buttercup. With Buttercup, sorry, there were other comments about Charlotte, so I got mixed up. Charlotte does not have a rival marriage, but Buttercup does. So that's just something cool about it, is that you can have kittens of your own. There's also rival marriages, and so you can almost fill out your village with your kittens, with other kittens, which are more characters. Oh, they married Buttercup with my cat.
Oh, that's sweet.
I love Buttercup. They are one of my favorites. I'm not supposed to have favorites, so you didn't hear me say that.
Of course, Buttercup is based off of our actual rescue cat that we got from the local cat cafe here. So Buttercup is actually objectively one of our favorites because Buttercup is basically our real world cat. Mm-hmm. We were able to include that cat in the game.
Do you want to talk about what you're doing right now?
Yeah, so I'm getting a power paw. There's these sort of challenges, puzzles, whatever you want to call it, hidden throughout the world. This one is a red power paw. That's going to increase my maximum health, which is going to be very helpful when we end up getting into that Dark Ruins, because part of the Dark Ruins is, of course, combat challenges.
I call those the Blues Clues of the game. So, like, you find, like, the paw print or whatever, so you need to find the other ones. Those are the Blues Clues.
That's a very good comparison to make. So I need to get, what was it? Let's see here. I need to get a quartz. So I need to head into the mines next. That's the last item that I need in order to make this run work. Shouldn't take too long to get a quartz. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. I saw a question about saving colony designs. That is a really, really good idea. I can see that being useful. It's not planned for the full release. Like it won't be there on October 20th, but it's really not a bad idea. I mean, maybe someday would be my answer to that.
If you do a New Game Plus, if you unlock that, which you do by having kittens, and then you max out your kitten skill, in the temple, you can do New Game Plus, which will keep your colony, like your map of your main place. I'm not describing this well.
Your colony layout.
Your colony layout. Yeah, because I'm like, well, the map, it does reset the
rest of the world map.
Yeah.
Right. But if the concern is losing your colony layout between the two save files, then
if you play as your kittens, that could be a really good way to keep that if you worked like really hard on it and want to keep that going.
So this is going to be funny because the main story, I can't actually access it until day 3, and I'm currently on day 1, and I probably will have
enough
cats
unlocked.
Recruited.
Yeah.
So I might have to end up doing the old speedrun strategy of just sleeping through a couple of days. That always works. See,
I love speedrunning, so like it doesn't faze me, but it's weird for this game for me. But
it does feel kind of strange. Not really a game that's necessarily meant to be speedrun, but it certainly can be fun to try. There are, on like speedrunners.com, there are speedruns of the first Cattails game, and that like made my heart really happy. Like that was pretty cool to see. Yeah. So it is out there. There's a couple of players out there that have beat the first Cattails in like 50 some minutes, 55 minutes, something like that, which I think is very impressive because I've never beat it under 2.5 hours, I think, was my personal best. Yeah, so kind of like the story of like how Cattails Wildwood Story came to be, like this game. So yeah, I don't know. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Yes, Tyler was a wee little middle schooler, and he decided to make video games for fun. He made the way that he started making games. See, I'm gonna brag on him a little bit because he doesn't really tell people a lot about like how do you make games. These were not good games when I was a middle schooler. Just to be clear, these were very, very simple games. He would use PowerPoint to create games. We are talking booting up PowerPoint on your computer and making a choose your own adventure. So like if you clicked on different parts of the PowerPoint, then it would go to different slides to create the choose your own adventure. Kind of like now on TikTok, I feel like people are making games on TikTok. Oh yeah. Because it will be like, it really is like a choose your own adventure where it has like the images. I don't know. I feel like I've quoted TikTok twice. Yeah, but people are doing that. I mean, because people don't use PowerPoint nearly as much now as they did back in the day. So, I mean, I view that as the equivalent of what people are doing now. They're making, those sort of things. And then Tyler picked up Game Maker, which, how would you describe Game Maker? It's like a Game Maker is it's a game engine that includes a proprietary programming language, scripting language, bundled with it. And the nice thing for me is when I started using Game Maker, there's a drag and drop option, and since I didn't actually know how to code, I sort of started fiddling with that, and I used that for many, many years, up until high school, just fiddling with that. And then it was nice because sort of as I aged, the engine matured as well, and all of a sudden you could do some really cool stuff with Game Maker. I mean, you could port these games to to consoles like the Switch, like we did with Cattails. So that was pretty fortunate that as I aged up, the platform did as well.
Yeah. And so then his little sister came to him and was like, hey, there's this book series that I'm reading right now that I love, and I can't find any fun games online to play with it. Could you make me a game that I could play? Because he was already making like these PowerPoint games, and he started making these Game Maker games for his siblings and like cousins to try out and play. And I'm sure many of you could guess what book it is based off of vibes.
There's some pretty obvious influences for Cattails as a series.
And so he messed around with that, and then in 2017 we got married. Fun fact.
We did.
That happened. Or did we get married in 2016?
We got married in 2016.
Old now.
We're old now. That was a long time ago.
And
so in 2017, I was working as a web developer, and Becca was also working as a web
I was
developer.
finishing up. I was in college.
Well, sure,
in a
but
really
you had your internship.
Scary apartment. And yeah, so Tyler had a full-time job in web development. I was my senior year in college, and Tyler was like, hey, I think I want to take this more seriously and make a video game. And I was like, cool, I got a good job lined up out of college. I'll give you a year to do. I didn't really say I'll give you a year. I was like, yeah, go for it. In worst case scenario, we'll just live off of like my job and we're all good. Because when you're adults, you have to think about that sort of stuff, and that sucks. But yeah, so then we did a Kickstarter for that, which allowed us to have the money to make
to actually develop the game,
to make Cattails,
which was really big.
And
that was kind of a major turning point in my life, and probably in both of our lives.
Yeah, and we're super, super proud of Cattails. Like, we put a lot into it. We worked so hard on it. But at the same time, like, I was still in college, and, Tyler had just graduated. It was the first time making a big video game like that. There was a lot that we just didn't know.
There was a lot we didn't know, a lot of challenges that I had not faced before, different mechanics that I never implemented before in a game that we had to figure out. And on top of all of that, the timetable for Cattails, the actual development timetable was very, very quick. I started developing it in May of 2016, and I finished it in December of 2017. So that's a year and a half that the entire game came together, start to finish. And then, there were a couple of smaller updates after that. But that very shortened timetable meant that there was only so much we could do with it. And so I had all of these ideas for where I wanted to take the game, all of these really cool ideas for how I could expand things. And I just didn't have the time to do it, frankly. So a sequel was sort of the natural next step, giving myself a lot more time to be able to invest in Wildwood Story and make sure that some of those really awesome ideas could be brought over into the new game.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about what's happening on the stream here?
I must speak with you. You think yourself mighty. You think yourself safe, young Tyler.
I guess I meant more of like a high-level overview of what's happening as opposed to a dramatic voice reading.
Oh.
But that works too. I'm good with that.
I feel like it's self-explanatory. You are not welcome here, interloper. Leave these lands or face the wrath of the Wildwood.
So this is
Your colony shall suffer if you do not heed these words. Do not test my patience. Be gone or beware.
This is actually great that the game is coming out in late October because it's also like
it's spooky.
Spooky season. It's Halloween. I guess a week and a half after that. And there's a little bit of scary elements going on with the story. It's not too scary. It's not a horror game at the end of the day. But that is the on-ramp to the main story. You get this sort of threat in a dream, so we have to go. It's midnight right now, so this is kind of silly. But we're gonna go talk to the Forest Guardian about what just happened. A couple of other members of the community have also had these strange, puzzling dreams, so they're all giving their thoughts on that. And of course, this is going to eventually lead up to us investigating the Dark Ruins. And there it is. There's the Dark Ruins.
Nice. There is a question about if the beta saves will go into the full game. The answer is yes. So if you backed us on Kickstarter back in the day, got the beta, then your saves will still be compatible when the game launches on October 20th. So.
And there might be some reasons to make a new save over the beta saves, in the sense that like some, we've reworked a little bit of the intro experience, especially if you haven't experienced the tutorial or the intro. That's an important sort of precursor to the story, so it's worth doing that. But rest assured that just loading up your beta files, that's totally fine. That's gonna work, no problems there.
Yeah.
There was a comment, it's been a while, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't forget about it, asking about the modding API or the community content API, and if we've expanded that since, the alpha first launched. And yes, we absolutely have. Most new features, we've added documentation for what you can fiddle with there and how you can change those and how you can modify those. So we keep that documentation up to date on our website. If you go to cattailsgame.com and you scroll down to that, there's a little section that says, are you interested in creating content or modifying content? You can click the link there, it'll take you to the documentation. We keep that updated every time we put out a new version.
Yeah, honestly, for me, I think that's what I'm mostly excited about for the launch on Steam on October 20th, is I'm really hoping that a lot of people really mod this game.
There's been some cool mods already.
Yeah, we are trying to make it as moddable as possible. So if you want to create your own characters, NPCs, or furniture items, or accessories,
new localization support. I mean, there's quite a bit you can do.
And all of that. And then there's a question. The dreaded question of, do you have merch? Because I want to do merch so bad. We do not have anything yet.
Not right now.
Just to show how much we were not ready for merch, this t-shirt for the Cattails 1 logo, we made this on Shutterfly in 2018 because we were we should own something physical. And then we went to PopCon and an anime convention to show the game, and we wore these then. And that's other than a couple of things we used for the Kickstarter recently, we do not
there were the plushes and the CDs, which were Kickstarter exclusive at this point.
Yeah.
Aside from that, there's not really merch. Yeah. Well, the stickers too, I guess.
There's stickers, but
nothing that you could go out and buy right now.
Nothing right now, but thank you. Always check in with that, because if the more that people check in with it, the more I convince Tyler we need to do merch.
Well, and I guess I'm curious as well, if we did do merch, what would people be interested in seeing? Is that like t-shirts or more plushes, or what specifically are people interested in? Honestly, it's something that we haven't really toyed with too much. But yeah, I guess there's some level of interest in exploring that maybe in the future.
Crappy merch. Nice. I saw someone say they like this t-shirt too, so that'd be cool. A retro Cattails 1.
I think it'd be cool to have one with the Wildwood Story logo. We haven't printed any of those. We have nothing with
we don't.
No wearable apparel with Wildwood Story on it.
Can I show them what I had made for you?
Yeah,
even though
that's fine.
Okay, let me show you other.
This is not for sale.
This is not for sale. This is just something that I made for Tyler because, I don't know. It's really hard when you work. I don't know if people can hear me when I walk around here. It's hard when you work on something that is so digital, and we don't have a physical thing to hold on to. All of our work is just on a computer out in outer space. And so I got this blanket. Now you can't see Tyler. And it's just a little, cool, it's a baby blanket because it was the cheapest blanket option. But if you recognize it, it is a map of the Wildwood.
Yeah, that's the world map from Wildwood Story. I had the goofiest smile when that one came in the mail. It's such a cool piece.
So yeah.
So what I am doing right now in the game, if anybody is curious, I am trying to. So I've unlocked the Dark Ruins. I had an idea that if I could unlock the headlamp, which is 100 voltage, before I go in there, it might be better because it's kind of dark in there, and then we could kind of see what's going on a little bit better. Yeah. So I need to go out and find something to eat because my cat is slowly starving. And then I'll head back into the mines. I forgot to bring a snack with me. That's a rookie mistake. I understand that.
And I totally missed when you got some active skills too.
Yeah, I had like 100 experience points, and I'll probably get a couple more before I head into the Dark Ruins. But we do have the first one unlocked, so that's ready to go. I'm just setting up for it, you know. So it presents some challenges, and the better prepared you are, the better off you'll be.
Yep. Ooh, a shirt with a map would be so cool. I agree.
That would be cool.
I love it. See, I love my merch. I love my physical goodies. Yeah, but we were like just so proud of this game because we were able to spend a lot more time on it and really put so many features that we just never imagined we would be able to do, like the rival marriages and rival kids, you know?
Yeah,
like,
that one's super fun.
I think that's my favorite thing that this game has that like the original doesn't.
One of the features that I'm especially proud of that I originally had the idea for the first game and it never made it in for a lot of reasons is the buddy system. If you make a really good friend in Wildwood Story, you can ask them to come along with you on your adventures. And when you do that, they'll join you for, hunting, fighting, foraging, all that good stuff. And they'll level up over time, so they get more powerful, and they all have some unique traits that make them different from one another. So some buddies are better to take into the mines with you. Some buddies are better to go hunting with you, for example. Some buddies are really good at fighting. And then there's some unique sort of utility type buddies as well.
Yeah, where each NPC that can follow you. So the ones that like can't would be like the forest guardian. And I'll leave it at that for spoilers. But yeah, the cats that can follow you, they all have these different like passive and active traits, which makes them more unique and different. It's really worth it for a lot of different reasons. And it's hard because like I want to show off everything, like 4 years of work, I want to show you everything, but I don't want to spoil the entire game. For a lot of reasons, you should definitely befriend the cats in your colony.
Yeah.
Recruit them, make some friends.
Most definitely.
You should definitely do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So right now, why are you going so deep into the mines? What are you looking for?
So I'm just getting items that I can trade for mole cash. So I need any sort of mineral, any sort of gemstone. I can trade that with the moles for mole cash. Once I have 100 mole cash, I'll be able to buy that headlamp. And then once I have the headlamp, then I'll feel better about heading into the Dark Ruins. Is kind of where I'm at. It's all incremental.
Yeah. So unfortunately, the rival kittens do not grow up. They stay kittens forever, just because then it would be like writing a whole bunch more NPC dialogue and a whole bunch more like portraits and everything. And trust me, when you fill out the town, it gets to the point where it's like there's too many cats here.
It's crowded, that's for sure.
When you get like the kittens and you recruit all these cats, it's like there's a lot. I mean, so here's the thing. We are working on getting this game translated to other languages. And when we started sending over the files of like the stuff that we've been working on, we realized pretty quickly, this is like 2 full novels.
Yeah,
we wrote
it's
2 books.
221,000 words, which...
There's a lot of words.
When we did the Kickstarter campaign, and I was trying to figure out how much it would cost to get a game like this localized, I did some sort of napkin math on it, and I thought like, right now it's at 20,000 words, whatever it was. So probably by the end it'll be, 50,000 words? No, we're like 4 times that many. And that takes forever to translate all that because it's a ton of text and, to do it well. Mm-hmm. So that was a surprise, but I think that's a really good thing because it shows like, okay, there is a ton of content in this game.
Yeah.
I'm very, very proud of that.
Yep.
All right, so we have our skills. We have a couple of extra hearts. We have our headlamp. I think we're ready to head into the first Dark Ruins here. Okay, it's Alabaster.
Nice.
Talk to him real fast.
Yeah, so this is where I wish that you had time to, because we were going to the first ruin so quickly, if you had time to become friends with a cat, you could bring them along, and that would be so helpful for like fighting enemies and stuff like that.
It definitely would be. I did not have time to do that because I am speed running this right now. So it's just going to be lean and mean. I have no healing items. I have barely any food items. Let's do this.
But you have some active skills.
All right, so this is the first ruins. This is the Ruins of Loss. A couple of bats. Ooh, missed that bat. That's okay. I got some skills, summon allies. Go get them.
Nice.
There we go. Just let them do all the hard work. That's the best way to do that. Pro tip, let your friends do all the work. All right.
So you can't buddy up with the Forest Guardian.
You can't bring the Forest Guardian along on your adventures like this.
Yeah, they stay in the temple. I don't know if I want to spoil things. The reason I'm like hesitant to like answer some of these questions because they're good questions.
Right, very good questions.
I just feel like you have to play it and find out.
Questions that absolutely do have answers. So we're presented with our first puzzle here. We saw a little cinematic before things kicked off. Now we have these 4 cat statues with these sort of water troughs going to them. And we also have some blocks. So like this block, if I hit it, it'll move. This puzzle, let's see there. So I can block the flow of the water, and then this cat has disappeared. And then if I move it, then the water will come back and the cat's back. So this one it's not too difficult of a puzzle. I just gotta block all of the water, get all those cat statues to disappear, and just like that, the door has opened. I can press on. I got some experience points for that. So that's the very first puzzle. There's some puzzles that are quite a lot more difficult than that, I would say, later in the game. But you know, since it's the first one, it's pretty easy. And there's these plaques on the walls. These will give you little hints of the story. I'm not going to read them all now, but for people who are interested in that, you can definitely learn quite a bit.
Even that puzzle had some things that it was sharing when it comes to the history of the Wildwood.
These little slimes, I love these guys. When you defeat them, they split into 2 smaller slimes, and they do that twice. So you end up, from one slime, you get down to like 8 little slimes you have to destroy. Or, how does that work? 4, I guess? I don't know. Probably 4. 4 of the tiny ones, plus 2 of the big ones, plus 1 of the massive ones. So I guess every slime you have to defeat like 7 times, if you think about it that way.
And this is where, again, if you had friends in the Wildwood, you could bring one along with you, and they can really help you out here. The other thing to note on the door, you can see like the 3 circles, and the first one is a glow. That is how many like rounds of enemies you need to defeat before you can unlock that door.
Right, so just in general, that's sort of a progress tracker. You can see how far along you are either on your current combat encounter or puzzle using those door pips and how many are lit up.
There's a really good question from Sleepy Otter 8762 about, is it worth it going to college for game developing? And I think that I don't know if we have the same thought on this or not.
No, that's an excellent question.
I want to hear your answer first.
My answer for that, I think, yes, there is a lot of value in that. I do think game development is a very, very wide field, and sometimes it can be helpful to identify, to attempt to narrow in on specifically what aspect of game development you're interested in. I'll give you a few examples. Some things you can do that I would term as game development. You could be the programmer, or one of many programmers on the game. You could be a game artist, you could be a game animator, you could be a game producer, you could be a musician who provides the soundtrack for the games. There is a ton of different interdisciplinary skills in the umbrella of game development. So for me, it was very helpful to narrow in on what specifically I was interested in. And for me, that was the coding, that was the programming, that's what I wanted to do. So I didn't personally go to college under a game design or a game development program. I went to school with a computer science program, and that was helpful for me just to hyper narrow in on that one specific skill that I was interested in. I think that other programs, like other game design and game development programs, they probably give you a better overview of game development as an industry and help you sort of, help you experience each of those individually and figure out, a little bit about what you might want to do with that. That being said, if you know for sure that there's one thing that interests you, I'd encourage you to explore that in depth.
That is so true. I actually agree with that completely. You know, like if you're really good with art and you really love making like the animations, pixel art, or even 3D art for 3D games, you know, studying art would be for you. Or if you love like storytelling, a writing degree in college would be really, really good as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of avenues into game development. It's not just
so
game
many
development
options.
programs, although that's absolutely a valid path into it.
And it's so new. That's the thing too with the you know, like this job that we're doing.
Shoot.
Here we go.
Sorry about that. My computer
It's looking
froze.
scary on our end.
Hopefully you guys can still hear us. Hopefully the stream is still going. Oh, that's weird. Just getting a little bit of lag here.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's not going to be too big of an issue. I hope we're still streaming.
Yeah, well, I was just saying that like when we were in like high school, middle school, the job of being an indie game developer didn't exist really. And so so I think like because it's still new, you know, like there's just so many different ways you can go about it and so many different like things that you can learn. So okay, good. They can hear.
Okay, all right, we're good. Hopefully it was just a short little hiccup there. All right, so in the Stark Ruins, I have cleared out 3 different chambers. There was a puzzle chamber, and then there was the combat with the blobs, and then the third chamber was another puzzle chamber. There was those paths that I had to figure out. So I've made it to sort of the final hallway here. There was this stone tablet here, which healed me up and reset my skill cooldowns, which was very helpful. And now, I am entering the very final chamber of this Dark Ruin.
I'm so ready.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You, interloper, how dare you come to this dark place? For what reason? I once knew many mortal cats. I do not wish to look upon your kind any more. Your wretched little colony must depart the Wildwood or be driven out. As for you, Tyler, you will never leave this chamber. I wish that we could hear the music here.
Oh my goodness.
But we cannot. Oh no.
This is not good.
Woo,
Having a few more hiccups on our end.
Right during the coolest part.
What is happening?
Right during the transformation scene. Oh no.
Yeah, hopefully this is still
You're
gonna be
not
smooth enough
video to me too.
over on YouTube. I don't know. Something is slowing my
Something's
computer
going
down.
on. I mean, it's pretty stormy outside for us, and so that might be what's happening.
But
I should have given a spider
looks
warning.
like,
I should have definitely given a spider warning there.
Right. So another thing as well.
We should talk about accessibility.
There's an accessibility feature here. There's an
Accessibility.
arachnid toggle, so you can turn that off, and if you do that, this boss is not going to look anything like that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of accessibility options in this game, and so
yes, the question, does this change with the spider setting? Absolutely, yes. That is probably the primary feature of the spider setting, is that this boss fight looks completely different.
Completely, yeah.
So this is the first of many sort of mini boss fights. For this fight, you have to dodge these projectiles that are spawning from the wall. You have to get all the way around the chamber here, destroy these little cocoons. That will break the mini boss's shield.
Beat him up. Use your active skills.
Oh yeah. I do have those, don't I?
Yeah.
There we go. My friends can help me with this.
Yeah.
Once the shield is broken, you will be able to actually damage the boss. And we'll try to take this boss down. And of course, there's more to damage or more cocoons to break as the fight goes on. I think we're sitting pretty here. We're looking pretty good. I think we're set up pretty well. Yeah, any moment now. Oh yep, we're down to about a fourth.
Oh my gosh, there's so many webs. I love it though because I'm so ready for October. I'm so ready for spooky time.
There's a question about the dialogue sprite. Yes, absolutely. Everything, there won't be anything that looks vaguely spider-like, including the talking sprite, if you change that setting. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. We should have mentioned that prior to getting into the boss fight. That's honest. All right, I think this is it. I think this will be the final hits for this mini boss.
Nice.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
No, it cannot be.
And to look at that, the Dark Ruins
just
is
like
purified.
that. And just like that, you defeated the first Dark Ruins in less than 40 minutes. I mean, we skipped the tutorial, but that's pretty insane.
Yeah, that's definitely a good time. I don't know that I've done it that quick before. So that's the first Dark Ruins, probably the easiest Dark Ruins as well, because it's, you know, the very, very first one that you encounter. So a big part of the main story is that there's actually not just one, but there's 4 of these Dark Ruins that are all around the map. And you have to unlock them by first recruiting enough cats that helps you to sort of break the seal upon the door, because your community is growing stronger. Then you have to go inside to investigate them, and each of them is unique. They're all a little bit different from each other. They have different challenges inside, different mini-boss fights at the end as well. And that will all lead up to a final showdown, a certain culmination of the story, which I'm pretty proud of. I think it came together super well. And we won't really talk too much about that to not give spoilers. But, you know, in October, people will be able to experience
there's so
that.
many things I'm excited for people to discover when this game launches.
Yeah, just another question here. Is the boss covered by the arachnid setting? Yes, absolutely. I want to be very clear about that. That boss will be completely different if you turn the arachnid setting to alternative. All right, I'm going to get another power paw here. I'm going to do this little quiz.
Good luck.
From the spring carving. This is one of my favorite things about the game. I love watching YouTubers and streamers when they play. They get up to this point, they find this, you know, this scary statue out here in the wild, and the statue is all like, "Prepare yourself, a challenge is coming," and then it's a game show.
So the vibe and energy of that is definitely inspired by Mario 1000 Year Door, which Nintendo just announced that they were making a remake of. So that's just me. So here's the thing, like, yeah, we're supposed to talk about our game, but like, we're just a couple of nerds that like video games, so we're very excited about that remake.
That was definitely a surprise in the Nintendo Direct. I'm personally very excited about that. I grew up playing a lot of 1000 Year Door, and I played through it a couple of times. I'll probably play through it again when the remaster comes out. So there's a little bit of that sprinkled into the Cattails series. Paper Mario, and also the Mario and Luigi series, if you played that. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. Excellent game.
Ooh. How many hours a day does the average domestic cat sleep?
Well, if it's our cats, probably 21. But
At least 21.
I don't think that's accurate. I'm pretty
and
sure it's 15.
And then they are crazy.
I think it's 15.
They are like nothing, and then they are 120% energy.
I know this one too, because Talon is a Maine Coon. Definitely a pretty large, intimidating cat.
Nice.
Hey, we got it. That's 3 successes, so we get the yellow power.
Almost like you wrote those questions yourself.
It's almost like we're the game developers and that we've done that quiz a time or two before.
Nice.
So there's 4 of those carvings as well. So if you like that little game show, you got to keep an eye out, because every season a different one of those will light up and become available for you to take the quiz. I'm gonna run up here to this battle here. I'm gonna try to engage with that. So we're gonna keep streaming for another 15-20 minutes, something like that. What should our next objective be? What do you think?
That's a great question.
I'm trying to think what we haven't really shown off too much. We could get into the colony building aspects of it.
Yeah, can we decorate?
That could be fun. Would you want to decorate a little bit around our colony?
Yes, if I can use keyboard and mouse.
Probably just controller, since we're trying to, you know.
I am.
So our mic is sitting right behind the keyboard for everybody who's watching. So if we use the keyboard,
you'll hear the clickety-clickities.
Logitech gamepad. Because if you use the keyboard, it's going to be so loud. So that's the thing,
yeah. So it's controller and mouse and keyboard. And when I play it only with my left hand on the keyboard. I don't use the mouse at all. And that's how So there's a lot of different options there, which is really nice.
We get healed up here because our health is a little bit beat up.
The progress on the Nintendo Switch is looking really promising. We don't have a date yet. We still have some work to do on that, because porting it over is a lot. So we're definitely looking at 2024. 2024. For the Switch.
I will say we recently were we had the privilege of being able to test the game out on the Steam Deck, which I don't know if you're familiar with the Steam Deck, but the Steam Deck is very, very similar to a Switch in a lot of ways. It's a portable, self-contained computer console that has the gamepad on either side of it, and it's created by Steam. The game runs very smoothly, very, very well on the Steam Deck. I was surprised. It's got a great frame rate. The controls feel right. So I anticipate that porting the game over to Switch is not going to take, too much effort, since we already built it with gamepad and portable support in mind. That being said, we're a very small shop. It's just the two of us. So porting to consoles does take a little bit of time, and we'll be sure to share more information with everybody, as soon as we have it. Probably, after the Steam launch sometime, later this year, I think November, December, we'll probably have a lot more information about how that's going.
Yeah.
That is sort of our priority for the moment, of course, is the Steam launch. So people playing on PC and Mac and Steam Deck, if you have a Steam Deck, that's coming up pretty soon. If you go to our store page, you can wishlist the game. That's going to give you a notification and an email as soon as that becomes available on October 20th. It should be the morning of October 20th sometime. We're just doing the very final testing and implementation and bug fixes, working with our beta testers from the Kickstarter group to make sure that everything is as polished as it can be. And then we're also finalizing some of the localization stuff. Right now the game is only available in English because that's what we speak. However, the game is going to be available on October 20th in both Latin American Spanish and German as well. So our localizers are currently finishing up those files, getting those back to us, and then we have some implementation work to do on that. That's what we're working on this month, leading up to launch.
So I'm just working on decorating the colony, and you can even change the word colony. You can customize so much.
Yeah, there's I think 30 different options for what word you can use in place of colony if you prefer that. And that's of course inspired by the mountain domain from the first game, which sort of bucks the trend and doesn't go by a colony. Oh hey, we got some of the Kickstarter beta testers are watching the stream right now. Thanks for being here. Appreciate that. Let's see here. There's a question about the price. The game is going to be $20 when it launches on both Steam and Switch is the current plan. Yeah, we got another 15 minutes here. So any other questions? Oh, there's a question about legendary prey and the spawn rate. Yeah, it does feel like those are a little bit more common now. There's a couple of reasons for that. First off, there's factors that modify your luck stat. So luck is sort of a hidden stat in the game, but it can be modified by a lot of different things. One of the ways you can modify luck is by finding green power paws, and that's going to make legendary prey spawn more frequently. Well, the yellow ones impact your run speed, and those exist.
You're right.
The green ones impact your luck. I think there's just 2 of those, so they're pretty rare, but that'll make it more common. There's some construction projects as well that you can research that will make legendary prey more common to spawn. And construction projects, we could get into that. That's a whole thing. Actually, there's a Wildwood Wednesday video coming up where I'll talk more about that. So keep an eye out there. I actually don't think we mentioned that yet.
Wildwood Wednesdays. No, we haven't.
Wildwood Wednesdays is coming back. So
we're YouTubers as well.
That's right.
We are your local video game makers. What are we streaming on? YouTube streamers. We're trying to get on TikTok. That's the thing. When you make your own game, you have to do everything.
You got to do everything, right? We wear a lot of hats.
It's a lot.
So Wildwood Wednesdays is our sort of behind-the-scenes dev blog, edited videos talking about different features coming to Wildwood Story, and we had 10 of those out back during the Kickstarter campaign that was, last year. However, we're bringing those back. We haven't posted those in a long time, but every Wednesday between now and launch, we're going to have a new video talking about a different awesome feature in Wildwood Story. Those are going to go up here on the YouTube channel, so make sure you check back and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't, because every Wednesday there's a new one of those. There should be 5 videos coming out between now and launch, because there's 5 weeks between now and launch. One of those videos, we're going to talk about construction projects, and construction projects, one of those, increases your legendary prey spawn rate.
Keep designing.
Another way you can impact your luck factor is by bringing certain buddies along, roping that back around. Some buddies have the lucky trait, they're going to find legendary prey more often than other buddies might. And there's a couple of other hidden luck increasing factors as well. We don't document this. I don't think we've sort of publicly declared that anywhere, but there's definitely a couple of those. One of those is if it's your character's birthday, you're going to find more legendary prey on your birthday.
I go mining. Whenever it's my character's birthday, I go to the mine. So yeah, there's a little fun little trick. If it is your birthday in the game, then you will have better luck, like significantly. So I always go to the mines, look for more diamonds and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Another one of those is if there's a meteor shower. So on very, very rare occasion, you might notice that when you look in the reflections in water, you'll see like meteor streaks. That's a pretty rare event. But during meteor showers, you have a very slight increase in your luck. Yeah, there's a question about the Nintendo release, and that totally makes sense. We are a very, very small company. You're
looking at
Falcon.
You're looking at it right now.
I personally do the porting myself. I do that in-house with the dev kit that I have, and I am the only person doing that. So every little technical quirk, everything that makes the Switch a different platform than PC, all that stuff is stuff that I personally deal with. That can take some time, especially when it's just one person. So that's really the reason we've done that. I wish that we could get it out sooner, I really do, but that's the reality of the situation. I am hopeful right now. I think originally we had said during the Kickstarter that Switch would probably be like fourth quarter of next year. That was just to give us like as much time as humanly possible, because you never know what challenges you might run into when you're doing a porting project. That being said, I'm very optimistic right now that we'll be able to push that forward a little bit. So again, we don't have exact timing details for you, but that being said, I think first half of 2024 is not out of the realm of possibility.
If everything goes well.
If everything goes well, yep, fingers crossed. I like what you're doing there. You got kind of a crystal-y vibe going on. If you use some of the really big crystals, you could get.
Ones.
Yeah,
oh, that's too much.
That one is way too big.
Ooh,
there
yeah,
we
here we
like
go.
That.
Okay,
like
we're gonna
that.
put this a little bit over here.
Really get some good
Right there.
decorating going on. So Becca's sort of demonstrating the flexibility of the colony layout system.
I'm so focused right now.
This is a brand new feature that's not actually in Cattails 1, but you have a ton of flexibility over how you build your town in this game. You can change up all of the aspects of the decor, including the trees, the rocks, the paths, where the buildings are located, what the buildings look like. I mean, you have a lot of control over it. You know, you can put a giant pool of lava in the middle of your town if you want to. We won't stop you. Or my personal favorite, you can put a giant lake, and then in the winter when it freezes over, you can go and ice skate on it. It's super fun. Somebody could probably make a really compelling system of roads out of water that in the winter you could use as like little highways.
Because it freezes over.
Yeah, and you move really fast if you're slipping on the ice.
That's a good idea.
It's kind of a great idea. I kind of want to do that. I'll bet in the meadow colony, when that river, the big river, if that freezes over, that'd probably be fun. There's a question if cats could give you gifts on your birthday. Yeah, they can.
Yeah.
If you have
talk to everybody on your birthday if you're friends with them.
If you're friends with them.
Nice
so
first,
if you have 2 stars friendship or higher, every cat in the village is gonna give you a birthday gift. Just because you're such a great pal. And other cats have birthdays too, so you better watch your calendar, because those cats will be expecting a birthday gift from you. If you give them something really good, then they're gonna really, really appreciate that. You'll gain a ton of friendship points on that day. So be extra careful about what you give cats as a gift on their birthdays.
Put that away.
All right, I'm just catching up on chat here. A lot of good comments about different people's playthroughs of both games. I'm curious if people will end up trying to speedrun Wildwood Story, and also what time is technically possible. I think Wildwood Story it's almost certainly a longer game. If you were to play through it back to back, not in a speedrun sense, it's almost certainly a longer game.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
There's quite a bit of content there. I think just in terms of file size, Cattails 1 is like 50 megabytes. Wildwood Story is like 500 megabytes. It's kind of silly.
We've been working so hard on it.
Yeah, it's a huge game. There are there's actually over 20 different romance options in this game. Just a ton of cats to choose from. Wow, there's a question, which cat is the best mate? We can't answer that. They're all great. Of course they're all great.
I have opinions, so I'm biting my tongue.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're all great. They're all wonderful. Except I was gonna clarify it and say except not Charlotte and not Champ.
I love Charlotte.
But Charlotte, to each their own.
Charlotte's my favorite.
I think I personally, when I play, I dig Phantom's vibe.
Phantom's cool.
Sometimes I go for Phantom, and I have also gone after Talon just because it's it's the hard one, right? Like Talon plays hard to get, so that makes it extra challenging, you know.
I've already used that tree.
Yeah, there's also
we have so many more cats to unlock too, is the thing. Like, I'm working hard on this, but honestly,
you only have 3 of them unlocked. So that's a thing about this game. You start with 6 cats who live in your colony. Coco, Jag, Ember, Spark, Crampy, and Ellie all start in your colony. But there's like 20 cats, so you end up recruiting a ton of them over time. And some of them bring their services to town, such as Glimmer, who we have recruited, who opens up a whole museum in town, or Talon, who lets you assign combat squads around the map to secure resources and take over new land. There's just, your colony can grow to quite a large size in this one.
I'm glad that I'm playing the game now and Tyler has to talk.
Yeah, I get to hang out with all the viewers and hang out and chat here. It's pretty great. So we also, I did want to mention this as well. We have a couple more live streams that we're planning to do between now and launch. You can get all the latest news on that on all of our social media, our YouTube, our Twitter, our Facebook, our Instagram, our Tumblr. We'll make sure to post when the next live stream is going to be in all of those. Right now, the plan is we'll probably do 2 more live streams between now and October 20th. So we should be here pretty frequently in order to answer your questions and kind of showcase the game. I will also reiterate that the demo is up this week. That's something you got to check out right now if you're interested, because by the time we do the next live stream, that is not going to be available. It is this week only. It is exclusively until Wednesday. So just to be clear, you can play the demo until Wednesday. So go get on that today, tonight, tomorrow, something like that if you're interested in doing that. The demo will take, I mean, if you play through the whole thing, it'll take probably like 2 or 3 hours. So it's a beefy demo. There's a lot of content there, which I'm super proud of. You can go check that out. That's going to give you the best possible preview of Wildwood Story prior to the launch. And then of course, when the launch comes, I mean, even with everything in the demo, there's so much more to do in the full game, in this build that we're playing, than even that's available in the demo. So there's, it's a pretty expansive game.
Yeah, I feel like next time we stream, we should just, well, I don't know. I don't want to, we have to decide how much we want to spoil and how much we want to show.
Right,
because
right.
I'm like, we could just use this one. I'm like,
we could use this file.
I don't know if we
I guess it'll
keep
depend
doing
on
it. We'll have to
what
figure
you
it
prefer.
out. Yeah.
People are guessing what bands Charlotte would listen to if Charlotte was a human.
Oh, that's so easy. So easy. My Chem. And then also...
Oh yeah, that's in the chat. Yep,
good.
Right there.
Who said it?
Nice
Renflower. You know what?
You're probably right.
They would listen to My Chem. They would also...
Someone said Imagine Dragons.
Isn't there a band called Good Charlotte? Or
yeah, that sounds familiar.
I don't know what that band is.
You think that Charlotte would listen to any band that has the word Charlotte in it?
Yes, they would.
That's very funny to me. Probably true.
Yeah. Charlotte is just cool.
I see a comment about being devastated when you found out that Coco was unmarriageable. Well, great news for you, because Coco is absolutely marriageable in Wildwood Story. We've made every adult cat that lives in your colony, like pretty much all of them, You can marry any of them, because that was a big pain point in the first game. People would be like, oh, this cat, I like this cat, you know, I like Jag, I like Coco, whatever cat it was, and then they wouldn't be one of the marriageable cats, and it was a big bummer. So this time around, it's just like pretty much every cat. I mean, take your pick.
Oh, perfect. So Good Charlotte is a 90s punk band.
Oh, perfect.
And so that's perfect for
Rock
Charlotte.
on. Love it.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, we will probably start wrapping things up here. We're getting close to 6 o'clock. The stream will be available. There will be a recording of it up on our YouTube channel after we wrap up here for the night. So if you want to go back and watch it again, or you know, I'll probably go and check the chat for any questions that I missed, so I'll be prepared better next time. You can do that. That'll be up on the YouTube channel. Again, we're going to stream again. I think both of us will be back. I'll definitely be here. Becca will probably be
I will
here.
most likely, yes.
Okay, that's good. Makes it a lot easier when we're both here. We can both, you know, it's easy when you have one person to play and one person to watch the chat. I think that works pretty well.
Yeah.
Probably in about 2 weeks' time. Watch our Twitter. We will definitely post more about Dev Livestream then. Check the YouTube channel on Wednesday so you can check out that Wildwood Wednesday video and play the demo right now, because again, that's going away on Wednesday, so make sure you check that out if you're at all interested. And yeah,
I mean,
good stream.
That's it.
Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We really appreciate that. Game's coming out October 20th. Wishlisted on Steam, and we will...
Wishlists help us a lot. I mean, even just like, I mean, again, like, this is it. This is us.
This is us.
So, I mean, like in our
out.
social media posts, putting nice comments, it really makes a huge difference. I know I sound like a like and subscribe person, but I mean, this is
true.
literally it. So,
it's true.
Yeah, it definitely helps out. Even just hanging out with us today, that definitely is fantastic.
Yeah.
So...
All right, well, we're going to call it a night there. Thanks for coming, everybody, and we will talk to you in the next Dev Live stream. Have a good one.
Bye.